This is Michael from themysteriousillness.com, and I thought I'd just make a quick video to summarize my story and to sort of kickstart my blog. I'm going to be blogging at www.themysteriousillness.com, and I thought I'd start a blog because I'd really like to keep track of what I'm doing to try to recover from this very serious illness that I'm dealing with. And I know there's many people out there with crazy illnesses that doctors have said that's in their head, and I thought it might benefit them if they could see someone else who's sort of similar to them, and they could see my experiences with various therapies. Basically, I'm 21 years old, and I've had health issues since I was about 17, and they were not as severe as they are now, but since about September last year, it's been very severe that I'm totally housebound and cannot work and completely disabled. So what I'm dealing with is very serious now, and it's very, very hard to deal with on a daily basis. So basically, in 2012, as you can see, I've nearly lost all the hair on top of my head, which is very rare for a 21-year-old. But basically in 2012, I think it was 2011, I went to Thailand. And when I got back, I had a terrible fever and I had a rash on my back. It hurt to move my eyes and it felt like I was dying or something. And I went to the hospital and they had no idea what was wrong with me. They sent me home and I eventually recovered. But over the next 6 months, I noticed that my hair was shedding out quite fast on top. And being around 16, 17 at the time, this was quite rare. And I was looking for a lot of solutions, and I couldn't really find anything. And the doctor said, "Get over it." So I sort of did. I took a few herbal extracts and went on about my day, hoping that it would sort of slow down. And in 2012. Around April, there's one night I was going to bed and I felt very fluey, and I just went to bed, thought I'd feel fine in the morning, and when I woke up in the morning, it was a complete total body change. Like, I woke up in that morning as a completely different person and had no idea what was going on. I woke up and my state of mind was completely different. My consciousness was completely fogged out. Like, I was totally brain fogged and I felt completely disconnected from the world around me. It was sort of like I was spaced out all day. I had chronic fatigue ever since that day. I just woke up, felt like I woke up from a hangover. I had a total loss of libido and sex drive, which is again very, very unusual for a 17-year-old at the time. And yeah, I just woke up feeling completely different and I had no idea what was going on. And as the weeks and months went by, it didn't go away and it seemed to get worse and worse. And I think I saw a doctor around that time and he basically said that it was in my head because my blood work came back as normal. So that was a bit discouraging and I thought, maybe it is in my head, so I just forgot about it. And I'd read on the web that exercising can, really help brain fog and things like that, and libido. So I started going to the gym, 6 times a week, and I put in a lot of muscle, and I just felt worse. Like, I was taking caffeine just to go to the gym. Like, my fatigue was getting worse and worse, and I had no clue what was going on with my health. I had chronic fatigue. My hair was rapidly falling out again. It definitely wasn't stopping. Not that I care about hair at this point, but yeah, I had rapid hair loss, chronic fatigue, total loss of sex drive, brain fog, neurological problems, my vision changed. I had a lot of eye floaters suddenly pop up in my vision. There's just too many too many symptoms to really talk about. There's probably 100, but there was a lot of emotional blunting as well. I was never depressed, but I just felt really, really apathetic. So, for example, Christmas would come around and I wouldn't care anymore, and I thought I'd grown out of it. And anyway, after I left school when I was about 18, 19, I started to develop chronic injuries. My body just could not heal from anything. I tweaked my back in the gym, and it just couldn't heal. And I stopped going to the gym, and I found I got worse because my body got weaker. So I went to the gym and did things that didn't hurt my back, but I just kept getting more injuries. It was getting ridiculous. And I still had no idea what happened. All I knew that 2012, I woke up one day feeling completely crushed, and I never knew the cause. And the doctor said it was in my head. So what was I supposed to do? And anyway, I was Googling the web, and I found a lot of people with the same side effects as me, and it was almost like that someone had taken notes of my life and written it on the internet, because these people sounded exactly the same as me. They said they woke up one day feeling completely different, and everyone said it was in their head. And I was looking about what led up to their crash, and a lot of them were taking saw palmetto extract or finasteride or Accutane or a few other drugs. And I looked back over my purchases and I saw before I went through that crash, I was actually taking saw palmetto extract, which is a 5-alpha reductase enzyme inhibitor, which was meant to slow down hair loss, which is finasteride is a drug version of saw palmetto. And I thought, there's no way that some sort of hair loss medication can cause such severe effects. So I sort of brushed it on, and then I came around more stories and more stories of people saying that they had a good life. They took a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, whether it be finasteride, saw palmetto, and Accutane, which is actually a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor. And they said that they felt great. Then one day they woke up totally stuffed, and 5 years later they're still riddled with side effects. And this really scared me, because I realized that right around the time of that crash, I had taken saw palmetto. And looking back, I remember I was actually getting some side effects on it, and I stopped taking it. And about 2 weeks after I stopped taking it, that was when I woke up with all these problems. And I'd seen the same story so many times. People said they stopped taking a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor and they crashed. But of course, the doctors were no help, because who's going to believe you that a herbal extract destroyed your body? It's totally unbelievable. So once I'd figured out that I was definitely they actually call it post-finasteride syndrome, which is there's thousands of men suffering from it, from taking the drug finasteride, which is very similar to the herb saw palmetto. And there's also scattered reports of people that got the same syndrome from saw palmetto. So I figured that out around 2014, 2015, and I tried lots of things. I tried Tribulus, Tongkat Ali. I definitely tried exercise for 3 years. I put on muscle and I still felt like shit. I got into very intense meditation, and this really basically cured all my depression and anxiety, but I still felt chronic fatigue, zero libido, brain fog, wounds not healing. My body temperature was very, very low. I had quite severe constipation. Nothing was working, and I was quite confused, because nobody believes my situation and nothing works. So around that time, I think I was working, and I was trying a few things, some more herbal extracts, lots of things. Like, I was really looking for a silver bullet, and it wasn't. And then around September, I had a total meltdown, and I wasn't exactly sure what happened. I was trying a few different herbal things, but my body just totally crashed again. And this was devastating, because it had been 3 or 4 years since I'd gotten this syndrome, or whatever you want to call it, idiopathic chronic fatigue syndrome, whatever a doctor wants to call it. And I had a total crash, and I basically had to stop working in September 2015. And over the next 3 months, I developed numerous new side effects. The worst one being connective tissue weakness. Basically, all the joints in my body have become extremely fragile. My muscles still have strength, but the ligaments and tendons have become that of a 100-year-old. Basically, if I just spread my hand, I can basically sprain if I spreaded my hand all the way out, I could sprain every joint in my hand. And my neck is extremely unstable. I have to strap it up once a week and then rotate that with a soft collar because the ligaments in my neck just can't hold my head. And if I turn my head all the way around, I get horrible neurological side effects. My vision goes blurry. My face gets spasms in it. And it's terrible. And it's not just, it's systemic. So my whole body's been affected. My ligaments in my knees, my ankles. I just feel like basically like a walking puppet. And it's just horrible. I can't even exercise anymore, and I've got no idea. Like, I originally had a syndrome that was affecting my quality of life, but I could still work. But whatever's happened to me now, I'm completely disabled, and I can't live like this anymore. And this is why I've started to blog my experience, because it's quite terrifying, and I really want to get better because this is unbearable. Every day of my life is unbearable, and I really hope that I can recover. And I found a functional MD, and he thinks that I've developed Lyme disease on top of the syndrome I already have, because I think it's called Borrelia. The bacteria can affect connective tissue, and that might be why my connective tissue's got extremely weak all over my body. So I'm going to be doing a lot of testing. Yeah, so that's basically where I'm at. I developed some sort of syndrome from taking saw palmetto extract, and then nearly 12 months ago, I had a complete meltdown, and I've developed problems on top of my already bad situation. So I'm extremely ill, and I'm trying to get better, and hopefully that I can blog my experience and make videos and blog posts. So thank you for watching, and let's just